We're only paying attention to the New Orleans Pelicans right now because of one man, and that is Zion. He makes his debut last night. You watched him under minute restrictions, Stephen A. What'd you think of the performance?
I thought that, his performance was really, really good. He's got superstar written all over him. He's a mammoth of a young man, 280 plus. We know all of that. We know he's a Skywalker. And that set shot hitting all four of his three-pointers when Greg Popovich had Jacob Poeltl and others to simply stand near the paint for crying out loud, barely contesting his shots, daring him to shoot it and seeing if he makes it. I think he deserves credit for all of those things because you got to do what you got to do. 22 points in 18 minutes is what it is, and he deserves our respect and our admiration for that. But I didn't care about what he did on the court. All I cared about seeing from Zion Williamson last night was his tenacity, his ferocity, and how he would jump and how he would land. And what really alarmed me was that I saw him land on 11 separate occasions on one leg or the other. He rarely landed on both legs. We all know that he's got suspect legs or at least suspect knees, and that's a bit concerning to me. I thought I saw him a little bit gimpy. It would not have mattered to me if he had been out for 6 to 8 weeks with the meniscus tear, as he was originally diagnosed to be. But he ended up being out significantly longer than that. So rust, inaccuracies, inefficiencies, if that were to be the case, I would have expected that. It would not have fazed me in one way or another. But I think the thing that alarms me about it is that he still didn't look 100%. It wasn't just rust out there to me. I saw it as him looking a little bit gimpy, and I did not expect that considering how long he had been out and the precautionary measures they exercised in order to make sure that he was okay before bringing him back. That's where my reticence kicks in about him. I hope that he ends up being healthy 100% and ready to go, because if that happens, he's a man-child. But I needed to see that.
We're talking to Stephen A. Smith, obviously First Take. It's First Take, Your Take. I'm Jason Fitz. Stephen A., you're square on this. I mean, when you talk about the way he looked, there was a bit of tentativeness when he landed. So if I'm the Pelicans, why play him at all? I mean, at this point, the best thing for the Pelicans is to lose a bunch of games, get another lottery pick. There's not a lot of winning games if you know that you're going to build to the future for Zion. Why not just let him sit out?
Well, you're asking the wrong person, because I've been of the mindset that Zion Williamson should just sit out the first year, similar to what Ben Simmons did for the Philadelphia 76ers until he was 100% healthy, and let him come back his second year in the NBA playing for the first time, completely 100% healthy and ready to adapt to the NBA game and adjust from a physicality perspective. Obviously, he's strong and he can handle the load, just as a man-child. All I'm talking about is those knees have been an issue. Those legs have been an issue. And for me, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that he is absolutely, positively 100% before moving forward with him. But I can't blame them. If the kid says he's ready, he says he was ready weeks ago, and he wants to play, and he's a rookie, why not take a chance and put him out there and restrict his minutes like they did last night? There's no crime in that either.
It feels to me, Stephen A., like it's pretty reasonable to think that if he keeps shooting that way, they're going to start defending that shot. So how replicatable is even the success that we saw last night, considering how open they were leaving him on the big shots?
I think that all depends on his health. I think that whether instead of threes he'll score in twos, but clearly he can finish at the basket so long as he's healthy. My only concern about Zion Williamson is his health. It's not his game. I'm not worried about his game at all. He knows how to put the ball in the hole. He knows how to be aggressive and attack. But I think the absence of aggression that you may have seen is because he's not 100%. It ain't just that he's out of shape and he needs to lose a few pounds because he's not necessarily in basketball shape. I question whether or not he's 100% healthy in terms of those legs of his. That's where my reticence kicks in, and that's where it's going to stay until I see otherwise.
With the level of expectation, Stephen A., that there is right now around Zion, does he have to lead the Pelicans to the playoffs to have a successful rookie season at this point?
Not at all. Not at all. We're not expecting anything from the Pelicans. I mean, we got to give credit where credit is due. They won 10 of their last 14 games heading into last night's game against the San Antonio Spurs because Alvin Gentry is doing a damn good job coaching, and Brandon Ingram is playing like an all-star, and Lonzo Ball has really elevated his game. And so when you look at it from that perspective, along with guys like Jackson Hayes and others, some young talent that they have on that squad that's making a difference, I think the future looks very, very bright. for the New Orleans Pelicans. I think David Griffin has proven himself to be an astute executive. Alvin Gentry has proven himself to be an astute and damn good coach, and we'll see what happens as they move forward. But Brandon Ingram is the bright spot there. This is a guy that didn't want to play for the Los Angeles Lakers anymore, was looking for an out, was not happy in Tinseltown. There were questions about his health, and he's averaging 26 a game and playing like an all-star right now.
Yeah, but Stephen A., let me push back a little bit. All of that is why I think there is a level of expectation that they have to make the playoffs, because advanced analytics show how good they've been. As you said, they've won 10 of 14. Now they get the best piece possible back. Doesn't that have to lead to great results for Zion to live up to the hype? I mean, if it were LeBron, that's what we'd be saying.
You don't have to when you have a guy that young. You don't have to. The operative word is have. Is like in the have to. No, it would be nice if they made the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, what are you going to do, Fitz? You going to sit up there and lament how awful the Pelicans are? No, you're not. Nobody cares about that at this particular moment in time because they don't have those expectations. They're playing with house money. They're a relatively young squad. Let's see what they do. It would be nice if they did, but if the Spurs or even the Memphis Grizzlies held on to an 8th spot or whatever the case may be, and John Morant was in there because he's been there all season long and didn't miss the first 40 games, you're not going to lose sleep over that. You're going to sit up there and say, hey, the Pelicans got some nice pieces. Next year will be the year to really, really judge them because they really spent the first half of this season not having Zion. Then he had to get himself into basketball shape. Then he had to acclimate himself to playing with other young guys who had to acclimate themselves to playing alongside him. They'll be fine. Yeah, that's what we'll see about the Pelicans.
Come on now, Stephen A. We're in a world where we can turn around to Patrick Mahomes and say he's only been a starter for 2 years, but he's got to win a Super Bowl. I mean, we lay high expectations on certain brands in sports, and there is no bigger brand other than LeBron in the NBA right now than Zion.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.